Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are doing Gufinliers Drunkin Hens. The Gufinliers Drunkin Hens came out of the book, obviously. It's based on one of the characters. Gufinliers has been fucking himself a long time, Berg, which is my guide in the first chapter. You should check it out. It's pretty funny stuff. Anyway, the character likes to drink tequila. So the whole idea behind the Drunkin Tequila hens are just that. He, was named after it because of that. So with that said, we're going to start off first, since chicken can be dirty, we're going to start off and talk about what we're going to do with our stuffed bell peppers. First thing we do, as you can see on the first one, is I cut the top off. And so what we'll do here is we'll just cut the top off and then just basically core out the inside parts. I have several different cups of things here. The most important ingredient in this particular one is mushrooms. And we use 2 cups of mushroom. So there you have it. Bang and bang on that. And then about 1/3 of a cup of chives, which is green onions. The smaller the better. This one's a little bit bigger, but it's all I had today. And then some of these walnuts, California walnuts. About 1/3 of a cup of that. And a little more than a cup of tomato. Any kind of tomato is fine. Roma, beefsteak, cherry tomato, doesn't matter. And then we just mix it all around. And then the next thing we do, we're going to drizzle on there some of that grade A maple syrup. Bang in, bang on that. Look at that. And I'm just at the end. I have just enough to actually do this, so that is a beautiful situation. And I'll just let it drain so I get a little bit more out of it, so I'll keep it upside down. The other thing is I'm using this product called Bourzoon, which is it's a gourmet cheese. It's like a cream cheese. I'm using the shallot and chive. What I'm going to do with this, you can either put it on top or you can mix it in. What I like to do sometimes is I like to mix it in. Mixing it in with all the other ingredients. And on top, we'll put just a little bitty piece, and it'll just kind of melt down. But together, all of these, I should have probably used a bigger bowl here, guys, and gals, because I'm making a hell of a mess, which I'll have to clean up, or my wife will kick my ass. But right now, I'm not going to worry about cleaning it up because I'm worried about mixing all this stuff together. With all this good stuff. These things will sit on the grill for about 20 minutes. I'm making I'm doing the chicken tonight is done on a rotisserie. When it sits on a rotisserie, it takes about 2 hours to actually. Now you can see we have a little bit left over, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to stuff it in there. That's what I call them, stuffed bell peppers. I'm going to stuff it in there because I don't want anything to go to waste. Now, I do have a little bit left over, so the good news is, what I'm going to do, because I can't stuff them anymore, and this was done purposely, I have a Gufinliers Drunkin Hen. He's very drunk because he's been sitting in tequila for 6 hours. Barely see straight. This chicken is completely drunk, but it's a big chicken. This bad boy probably weighs about 7 pounds, so there's no need to do 2 of them together, which is what I normally do in the marinade. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the excess of this and I'm going to make it a stuffing. And that's about 1/3 of a cup of chopped garlic. And so the rest of this is going to go right down the middle of this guy. And this stuff will cook in there for 2 hours. And the smell will just be amazing, and it will come out tasting delish. Now, and I'm tell you, what I'm going to do real quick here is I'm going to pull out what's already in here. And what's already in here is a bunch of limes. I'm taking them out just to show you what I do. I stick the limes and the tequila right down its throat. Okay? And then the lime, I'm just mixing it in with the mixture here. It's going right back in. Okay. Take a little bit of that sauce and drizzle it in. And that is tequila right there. It's straight tequila. Now we're just stuffing this thing. And this thing will just sit in the fridge for another couple hours. And then about 4 o'clock, it'll go on. It'll be ready about 6 o'clock. We're just stuffing this bad boy down. Stick a little butcher's twine on the end of it so that we can keep it all together. And then the rod will go right through the middle of it as well. You know, the rotisserie rod. I think tonight I would either go with a Merlot or a Syrah. This is about, depending on where you buy it, anywhere from about $8 to about $12. It is the Kincannon Petite Syrah. Now the Reserve is about $40, and the Reserve is fantastic. I save that for special occasions. I usually buy about a case of that a year. I love it. But this is the more inexpensive Syrah, and it's fantastic. That's what we will be drinking with this tonight. Now, I must say, I'll admit, some people like something a little bit lighter. And my wife, for example, she will be drinking the Pinot Noir. This is BV. This is about $8 per bottle. And that's what she'll be drinking because she doesn't like Syrah. So again, it really comes down to choice, what you like. If you don't have a rotisserie, it's not a bad idea to just use an upper grate. You're just going to have to turn it about every 15 minutes. However, some Pam all over this guy because it makes it a lot easier to clean these things. The rotisserie is a real pain in the ass to clean. So it's on, and so right now we are in smelting phase, as you know. Not much else to do, just let it kind of do its thing. I will come in and check, make sure that the wood chunks aren't flaming up too bad. Other than that, this is like autopilot, man. This baby is on autopilot. I am sitting here in the cockpit over there having a glass of wine. Okay, it'll flame up. So we're going to go ahead and take that. The last thing you want to do, if you have a flame up, is throw water into the inside of the pan. Because inside there is, let's get a little bit more water on that, is oil. And the oil and water will just create a huge flame up, and that's a problem. We don't need problems. We're just smoking some chicken. This is for you barbecue guys. This is what I do to kind of be like you guys. Glaze, which is barbecue sauce, combined with the marinade that it was in. Now for me, I'm the kind of guy, it's always about the glaze and the marinade together. So now what we're doing is we're going to put this back burner on, and that's going to actually give it a really nice, the glaze will caramelize beautifully in these last 20 minutes. So you're talking about almost 2.5 hours this thing has been going. Beautiful. That is totally Picasso right there. And remember, this sauce, this glaze, now has a couple of things in it. It's got hickory barbecue sauce. It's got some chunks of garlic in it. And there's a chunk right there. It's just going to fall on there. And it'll probably hang on. Let's see if it hangs on. No, it fell off, but that's okay. Now I got to put on the primal side. They're inside, and I'm going to have to put those on right now. This has been on almost 2.5 hours. You can see it's caramelizing very nicely on there, that sauce, that glaze that I put on there. So that's going to be done soon. These are, I don't know if you can see them, but I'll just show it to you. This is the red bell peppers, the stuffed ones. And that's going to be some nice tender. I'll just turn that off for a second and we'll do a quick delish taste so you can get an idea. Now, is that flamed up? going to throw a little water. We're going to be real easy about it. Better if you got a spray bottle. My spray bottle broke. You don't want this flaming up inside there with all that grease. So, but you want to keep it smoking for the next 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, so now take a little piece of that off. Boy, that's so tender. So tender. Okay. Wow. Beautiful. Turn that back on. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Amazing. And everything's almost done. So now you know how to do it on the rotisserie. And again, if you only have an upper grate, usually if you don't have a rotisserie, you have an upper grate. Put it on the upper grate. Just keep turning it. Make sure you have a pan below, because the pan will keep all that grease and stuff from going into your pit. You know, a chicken, when you're doing it, when you're slow smoking it, you're keeping the skin on. So all that juice, all that fat is just dripping down. You want that to drip into the drip pan, not onto your grill grates. And then you want your smoke to keep going, so you just keep adding it. And personally, I like the chunks. So there you go. Marinate off and grow responsibly. Glad you joined me today. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.